Hello and welcome to the Love Her podcast. My name is Laura. I am your host, and I am so excited to start this journey with you. This podcast is for the high achieving woman, the woman who has accomplished goal after goal, the woman who knows her potential, who knows her worth, who knows she is meant to make a bigger impact. And yet, she is a woman who feels stuck. This podcast is for the woman who is not only ready to own her success, but is ready to reach even higher. You are that woman. Let's rediscover what it means to be her. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Love Her podcast. I am Laura, your host, and I'm a certified life coach and HypnoBreathwork facilitator. And I am so glad you are here. In the last episode, we talked all about your breath and the ability it has to change your physical and physiological state. We talked about how your breath has the power to control your nervous system and take you out of the fight or flight state of stress and anxiety and back into your resting state where your body is able to relax and digest and heal. If you have not listened to this episode, I highly recommend going back and listening. It will give you so much more appreciation and understanding of not only the power and significance of your breath, but also the power you have to use your breath as a tool to calm you and heal you and improve your overall well-being. And it will help you to better understand today's topic, HypnoBreathwork. This episode is something I have anxiously been waiting to share with you because, ladies, your breath truly is your superpower. As a woman, you were born with so many superpowers already, but to be able to harness your breath and use it to your advantage, that makes you unstoppable. You will be amazed at how you can use your breath to change your life. I have shared with you already that HypnoBreathwork has been the most powerful modality for me since I started my self-discovery and self-development journey 4 years ago. And now I want to help you understand HypnoBreathwork a little more, what it is, how it works, how it creates change, and how it allows you to go so much deeper on your healing journey. And I am so excited to announce that I'm going to start offering an online HypnoBreathwork session each month that you can join from the comfort of your own home. These sessions are for the ladies who are through with waiting. You are ready to start taking action. Go deeper and create the life you desire. I am celebrating you so big for listening to this podcast and for allowing yourself to start remembering and acknowledging her, that higher version inside of you. And I want you to ask yourself, what could happen if you took it a step further? If you allowed yourself not only to be more aware of her, but to start connecting with her and listening to her. This first session is all about connecting to your intuition and your true self. And it is powerful. Okay, I'll fill you in on the dates and times for these sessions at the end of this episode. But let me just say, you will want to take advantage of this. It could be life-changing for you. I know because it has been for me. And right now, let's talk HypnoBreathwork so you can get a better understanding of what it is and why it's so powerful. First, let's discuss breathwork in general. Breathwork is a fairly new concept for most people. And if you have not heard about it until now, you are not alone. That was me just 2.5 years ago. However, breathwork has been around for thousands of years. And in the past 60 years, it has been getting more and more popular in our current society. Today, it is practiced by Navy SEALs, martial arts masters, and elite athletes. And in fact, more and more NFL teams are hiring breathwork coaches to work with their players to enhance performance and overall well-being. Definitely impressive. However, you don't have to be an athlete or a Navy SEAL to benefit from the many positive effects of breathwork. This work is for everyone, including fabulous, successful, motivated, and burnt out women like you and like me who know life can be so much more. Now, there are many forms of breathwork. My first couple of experiences with breathwork were somatic breathwork sessions about 2.5 years ago, and I did not experience breathwork again until about a year later when I tried a HypnoBreathwork session for the first time, and I immediately became hooked. Breathwork in general involves conscious and deliberate breathing patterns, often guided by a facilitator and set to music to evoke emotions and create physical and mental benefits. There are many different forms of breathwork. In some, you are guided to hold your breath for long periods of time or take quick, short breaths that induce hyperventilation. For some, you only breathe through your nose or only through your mouth, sometimes both. Sessions can last hours or can just be a few minutes. So, in general, there's a wide variety of experiences when it comes to breath work. And for me, the most effective and most efficient form of breath work has been hypno breathwork. Hypno breathwork is a form of breathwork that combines breathwork, hypnosis, and visioning. It lasts anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes, and in just that short amount of time, you can access your subconscious mind, bring forward suppressed memories and emotions, and identify limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. And through the power of hypnosis and visioning, you can start to rewrite your beliefs and receive messages from your intuition to start taking action towards a more aligned life. Before we get into this, I just want to clarify what exactly I mean by hypnosis, because I know for many that term sounds a little scary. We tend to think of the entertainment shows where people are hypnotized and do crazy things on stage on command, and then often embarrass themselves and then have no recollection after. This is not that kind of hypnosis. With hypno breathwork, you are simply going to be in a more relaxed state and reach a deeper brain wavelength. And you're completely aware of yourself and your surroundings. You have complete awareness and you are in complete control the entire time. Even if your child runs in the room and interrupts you in the middle of a session, you are fine. You won't be stuck in hypnotic state. You'll simply come back to your normal state. Okay, so now that we've got that cleared up, let's talk about how to prepare for a session. During a hypno breathwork session, you will want to find a quiet space where you can lay down and will not be disturbed. You will want headphones and a blindfold to cover your eyes. I also recommend having a pen and paper close by so you can journal right afterwards about what came up for you. Hypno breathwork is a full body experience. Often, the disruption of the carbon dioxide and oxygen that occurs during breathwork can cause tingling throughout the body. And during the session, you are encouraged to move and shake your arms and legs, shake out any buzzing or tingling. I often tell my one on one clients or my groups before the session that this is not a stillness practice. You are encouraged to move because it helps to move energy and release energy. So let's discuss the breathing pattern first. The breath is a three-part breath with all inhales through your nose and exhales through your mouth. You start by breathing into your belly and then into your chest and then exhale, releasing all the air. It can be done at your own cadence, and the main focus is to keep your breathing deep and circular with no pauses. For me, this feels like a much easier breathing pattern than some of the other types of breath work that I've done. However, I will admit it was hard for me at first to be able to focus on this continued breathing pattern for an entire hypno breathwork session. So, when you first try this, don't be surprised if you feel challenged too. That's okay. It's something new. But with anything, as you continue to do it, your body will adapt. It will become familiar and it will start to feel much easier. This is a practice and it is about progress, not perfection. Okay, so here is why the breathing pattern is so important. It gets us into a hypnotic state where we are able to achieve a deeper brain wavelength. It does this by disrupting the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body. This makes our blood more alkaline, which stimulates different parts of our brain. In short, it shuts down parts of the conscious mind, the analytical and logical part of our brain. In other words, the part of our brain that loves to overthink. And it stimulates our subconscious mind. And this is huge because just like the name suggests, our subconscious mind is not something we are aware of. It tells our heart to keep beating and our body to digest our food without us even having to think about it. It stores in memories and daily routines subconsciously so that we can get out of bed and get dressed in the morning without having to think about each detail. When you get out of bed in the morning, you don't have to tell yourself every step. Can you imagine if every morning you had to consciously tell yourself, okay, now I'm going to roll over and I'm going to place my hand on the bed and push myself up into a seated position. Now I'm going to place my feet on the floor and then stand and place one foot in front of the other to start walking to my dresser. Okay, you get the point. Can I just say, thank God we do not have to do that? It sounds exhausting. Especially on the mornings when I get up at 5 a.m. to work out. My conscious brain definitely does not have the capacity to go through all those steps that early in the morning. Thanks to your subconscious mind, you had this routine stored and you don't have to waste energy thinking about every detail. Your biggest task is to find the motivation to consciously get yourself out of bed. And then your subconscious mind takes it from there. So, the subconscious brain definitely serves a purpose. Your biggest task is to find the motivation to consciously get yourself out of bed. And then your subconscious mind takes it from there. So, the subconscious brain definitely serves a purpose, one that we can all be thankful for. With that being said, our subconscious mind also holds many of our core memories and beliefs, and some of these are limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are subconscious beliefs that do not align with our conscious desires. In other words, they're holding us back from what we truly want and what we are meant for. And do you want to know something crazy about the subconscious mind? It is formed between the ages of 0 to 7. Yes, you heard that right. It is formed when we are just small children, when our brain isn't even developed enough to challenge what we are taught. From 0 to 7 years old, we learn from our parents and guardians and teachers and from our peers and from society in general, and we take it all as fact. We accept truths that often aren't even true for us. And this is not to say anything bad about the adults and caregivers or peers that influence us. It is just simply to say that we are all individuals with different perspectives. And what is true for someone else is not always true for you. And as a young child, your brain wasn't developed enough to challenge the beliefs that didn't feel true for you. And so you accepted them and stored these beliefs in your subconscious mind as fact. And now, as a full grown adult, these beliefs are still holding you back. Do you know how many times I hear my coaching clients refute their own desires? They will say to me things like, I shouldn't want that. I shouldn't be like that. It wasn't how I was raised. And my question is always, what feels true for you now? Not what feels true for your parents or grandparents or your friends or siblings or what felt true when you were a child, but what feels true for you now? What do you want to be true for you? So often we hold ourselves back because we are still stuck in that 7-year-old mindset. We are held back by limiting beliefs such as, I have to be the quiet good girl, or I have to be pretty or thin to be worthy, or money doesn't grow on trees, or I can't be different, I have to fit in. These subconscious beliefs are in the background running the show, and we're not even aware of them. So here we are, wondering why we are left wanting so much more out of our life. We are left wondering why we feel so unfulfilled. And here's an even crazier statistic about the subconscious mind. It controls 90 to 95% of what we do. Yes, you heard that right. Even though we are not aware of it, and even though it was formed between the ages of 0 to 7, and you are now an adult, it is essentially still running the show. And that means those limiting beliefs that are hanging out in your subconscious mind, those are the very ones that are stopping you from going for that promotion or moving to the city you've always dreamed of. They're keeping you at a job or in a relationship that does not fulfill you. In short, they are keeping you stuck. Because when your subconscious beliefs do not align with your conscious desires, you will have a very difficult time achieving your goals. And that's where HypnoBreathwork comes in. What is so powerful about HypnoBreathwork is that it is able to break through to your subconscious mind. It gives you access to your subconscious memories and beliefs and emotions. You are able to bring them forward and to finally have awareness of them. And that is the first huge step towards changing your life. Because, like I've said in past episodes, awareness is key. If you are not aware of something, you can't address it. Awareness gives you the ability to break the cycle. I can't tell you how many times I've done a hypnobreathwork session and had a memory come through that gave me so much clarity on what was holding me back. Sometimes these memories are fun and silly, and it's mind blowing that your childhood interpretation caused you to remember it in a negative way and hold you back. Sometimes these memories are beautiful and help to give you the confidence to move forward. And sometimes they're painful and sad. And in these moments, you get the opportunity to acknowledge them, to process them, to heal from them, and to ultimately find acceptance and to choose new beliefs, ones that feel true to you so that you can finally move forward. So, once you break through to your subconscious mind, once these memories or limiting beliefs come forward, the next step in hypno breathwork is reprogramming your subconscious mind. And that's where hypnosis and visioning come in. Once your breath pattern has gotten you into a hypnotic state, you reach a brain wavelength that is more suggestible. And you can activate different areas of the brain and are able to create new neural pathways. Through the power of hypnosis and visioning, you can actually start to rewire your brain and reprogram your beliefs. You can start to create new ones that align with your desires. And I want to clarify, visioning is not the same as visualization. Visualization is when you are creating an image in your mind and it comes more from your conscious analytical brain. Visioning, on the other hand, comes from your soul. It comes through you, from your intuition. I will give you an example of this from a session that I did not too long ago. I was doing a hypno breathwork session, and towards the end, an image of me hugging a lion popped up. At first, it made no sense to me, and my ego started to take over, telling me this was absurd. But this image was so strong and vivid and wouldn't go away. And then it hit me. About 2 years ago, I had used an analogy with one of my coaches, and I told her this. I said, I feel like I was born with so much confidence and just an excitement for life. I was a leader. I was brave. I was a lion. And over the years, I slowly became a mouse. I have allowed myself to play the victim, to give in to fear and stay in my comfort zone. And I've become small. I've become this little mouse. And the more I step out of my comfort zone, the more I challenge myself, the more I feel like I am becoming that lion again. And since then, every time I see a lion, I take it as a sign that I'm on the right path, that I'm becoming more of her. And so this image of me hugging a lion during my hypno breathwork session, it was such a confirmation for me. And I can't really describe the feeling of knowing and confidence that came over me in that moment. And that's the thing about your intuition. You don't have to be able to explain it or to make sense of it. You just have to be willing to listen to it, to feel it, to receive its guidance, and most importantly, to follow it. That session was the very session that I knew it was finally time to start this podcast. And that leads me to my last point, and arguably the most important part of hypnobreathwork, and really the most important step in changing your life. Awareness is huge. Challenging your limiting beliefs and creating ones that align with your goals is key. But the most important step you can take to actually create change, to actually start becoming more of her, your true, authentic, highest self, is to take intuitive action. And that is always the last step of every hypno breathwork session. To ask your intuition, what is the next action step you need to take to create the life you desire? And that is the moment you let the answer come through you. Sometimes the action step will be one where you are so excited to take it. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's something you've been putting off, or it's simply something you just don't want to do. But here's the thing about your intuition: it's always right. It's always challenging you. It's always supporting you because it knows what you are capable of. And whatever action step it gives you, it's up to you to take it. Your intuition will guide you to what's right for you. And ultimately, it's up to you to have the courage to follow it. And now that you have a better understanding of what hypnobreathwork is, I want to share with you one of the most profound subconscious limiting beliefs that I discovered while doing a hypnobreathwork session. And honestly, it feels very vulnerable to share this with you, but I promise to be real and honest on this podcast. So here goes. This breakthrough actually occurred about a year ago while I was in the process of getting certified to become a hypnobreathwork facilitator. One of the other students was facilitating a hypnobreathwork session for me. Her name is Kadri. Shout out to Kadri if you are listening. You are amazing, and I am forever grateful to have had the honor of experiencing your gift. I have shared this with her already because her session changed my life. Okay, back to my story. I met with Kadri and discussed with her what was challenging me. I had been working in healthcare for 15 years and I knew nothing about the business world and didn't feel comfortable in my new role as an entrepreneur and business owner. I wanted success. I wanted a bigger life. I wanted to feel worthy of it, but something was holding me back. And I was ready to discover exactly what that was. So the next day, she took me through a hypnobreathwork session, and I was shocked by what I discovered. During that session, I had an overwhelming and very strong message come through. It was a question, and it was this: what if deep down you think you are better than other people? What if you want a bigger life because you are a conceited person? This question hit me hard because I know consciously that I do not think I am better than anyone. I know that my reason for wanting to do this podcast and follow this career of being a life coach is because I want to help women. I want to lead them and guide them to discover their higher selves. I consciously know that my reasons for wanting a bigger life are not conceited. They largely come from a desire that is so opposite from that. They come from wanting to be of service in a better way and to make a bigger impact. But what this hypnobreathwork session made me realize is that although my conscious mind knew this, my subconscious mind did not. And it had been blocking me. The belief that me wanting a bigger life meant that I was conceited and self centered formed when I was just a child, and it was still running the show. My subconscious mind believed that if I achieved great success and made a big impact, that I would in fact become a version of myself that I disliked, a version that was conceited and full of herself and looked down on others. And so it was holding me back. It was subconsciously telling me in order to be a good person, I had to stay small. This hypnobreathwork session was a turning point for me because now that I had the realization of this limiting belief, I could start doing the work to prove it wrong. I started to look at my past clients: CEOs, high level corporate women, lawyers, entrepreneurs, successful business owners, Olympic athletes, amazing artists, all very impressive women who made amazing breakthroughs and experienced so much growth during and since their time coaching with me. And I realized I have already made a big impact on so many inspiring women, women that are also making a big impact in this world, especially as they step into a higher version of themselves. The truth is, I'm already living a bigger life. I'm already making a bigger impact, and I'm still me. In fact, I would even argue that this work has humbled me because doing this work requires you to constantly work on yourself. I can't guide other women in their growth if I'm not continuing to do the work to identify my own limitations and to continue to find the courage to challenge them and grow and expand myself. What I have realized is that stepping into my power, sharing my gifts, and owning my success has made me a better version of myself. And I will admit, this limiting belief is something I'm still working on every day. I am continuing to build evidence and step into my power more and more. And I am becoming more comfortable with the idea that success is inevitable for me, that creating this bigger life is what I am meant for, and that it's okay, that it won't change me, and that it will, in fact, save me and allow me to experience the freedom in being the real me and welcoming a life that feels good. Because she is the version of me that knows life can be big and exciting and abundant. And she knows I have the ability to create that life for myself. It honestly feels so good to step back into her energy, into that lion energy, and not only feel the excitement in creating a bigger life, but to feel the pride in owning my success. And so, this one breathwork session gave me the gift of finally bringing this limiting belief forward. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Once you see, you can't unsee. This one session gave me the opportunity to finally become aware of what was holding me back. I now had the opportunity to do the work to start aligning my conscious desires with my subconscious beliefs. It was a huge step in realizing that making a bigger impact is not conceited. It is my calling. And at the end of that session, my intuition was so strong. It told me to not only keep going, but to use my story and my voice in a bigger way, that my success will help other powerful women achieve theirs. And that's why I'm here today, sharing my story with you. And that's the power of HypnoBreathwork. It allows you to realize subconscious beliefs and to connect with your intuition, that deep inner knowing inside of you. Your intuition is always there, always guiding you, often challenging you to step out of your comfort zone, because that is how you become exactly who you are meant to be. You don't live an extraordinary life by listening to your ego and letting fear stop you. I said this in the second episode, and I'll say it again because it's an important point. Your ego will try to keep you in your comfort zone because it wants to keep you safe. Your intuition will challenge you because it knows your potential. It knows what's possible for you. And it's up to you which one you listen to. And if you want to connect more with your intuition, if you are ready to start listening to your inner knowing, HypnoBreathwork can take you there. You get to save yourself. You get to challenge your ego. You get to start creating the life you dream of. Each intuitive action, each step gets you that much closer to her. For me, HypnoBreathwork sessions are often emotional, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. Sometimes they are energizing and motivating. Sometimes they are hard and exhausting, but they are always beautiful because each time I learn something about myself, I connect with myself a little more. I connect with my intuition and I become a little more of her, my true self. And that is what I want for you. And ladies, that is why I created a powerful HypnoBreathwork session that I'd like to share with you. I'm going to offer this session online over Zoom, and I'm going to offer it at 2 different times. If you are listening to this on the day this episode dropped, you are in luck because the first session is tomorrow, October 30th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you can't make that, I'm also offering it on Wednesday, November 5th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is a link in the show notes to register for the time that works best for you. And I added a coupon code, so make sure to enter that. It's my way of saying thank you for listening to this podcast and for saying yes to yourself. I encourage you to sign up and show up for you and for her. This session is for any woman that is ready to connect with her, to start becoming her, and to start living a bigger, more beautiful life. As I just shared with you, just one session can change your life. It changed mine. And I realize this might feel out of your comfort zone. And honestly, it should. It's something new, it's different. And it's also exciting. Give yourself this gift of connecting to her. She's ready. I can't wait to see you there and to witness you saying yes to her. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I have so much gratitude for you, and I feel honored to be on this journey with you. If this episode resonated with you, I would appreciate it so much if you could rate, review, and subscribe or follow this podcast and share it with a powerful woman in your life to let her know you see her and you see her potential. Let's build a community of inspiring women who know life can be better and have the courage to take action towards it. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Laura Kistner Coaching or sign up for my weekly newsletter so that you can keep up to date on future episodes and have first access to my one-on-one coaching openings and group programs. I believe in you, and I am so excited to see you becoming more of her. I can't wait to see you on the next episode.